Matt, we talked about this before when you played here during the regular season, but this is a building that I'm sure is very special to you because 3 years ago, you scored an overtime goal that gave the Blue Jackets franchise's first ever playoff win. I would imagine it's probably the biggest goal of your career, although the one you scored after taking a puck in the forehead was pretty big this year too. But what's it like to be back here in this kind of a situation again?
It's exciting. Obviously, second crack at the playoffs for myself, and I think you draw on any experience you had from your former one. So, it was a pretty special night. The goal you're talking about there, and it's something as a player you always want to try to do again. That's I think that's the best feeling in sports is being able to help your team win a game.
I can tell you this, you made an impression on the Pittsburgh people from way back then because I heard some of the media guys talking in the stands today saying that you could be a factor in this series, and I'm sure you would love to be a factor, but that's really what the playoffs is, isn't it? It's sometimes it's not the first and second liners, it's those the bottom six guys that really get opportunities, and if the bottom six guys aren't good, you simply don't win.
Absolutely. I think we've been winning and scoring by committee all year. We're a deep team, and I think that's something we try to use to our advantage. If you can roll 4 lines and trust every line, it's a huge advantage. I think energy-wise and giving teams different looks. So I think as a bottom 6 guy, we're going to have to bring it this series. We're going to have to play hard. We're going to have to play tough. They got 4 good lines too, so it's gonna be fun to match up against guys throughout the series, and we're gonna try to contribute as much as we can.
Yeah, speaking of matchups, since you're the visiting team, you won't be able to match up right off the face-off, so you're going to have to play against everybody. But you, William Karlsson, Josh Anderson, you played the bulk of the year together, and it looks like you guys have been comfortable playing against anybody in this league. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, we've had some games where whether we're on the road or not, Torts has put us in shutdown roles, whether it's their top first or second line. We're comfortable with that. We know they got a lot of skilled players over there, and I think you're cognizant of when they're on the ice and you play a certain way. But we're just going to try to provide energy. I think our best defense is playing the offensive zone, so that's what we're going to try to do: get pucks deep and really work their D of the series.
And that's really what you did in that Toronto game to end the regular season. For you, did you feel like you really tuned up your game? You're ready to go for this?
Yeah, I think the last few games, we got put together as a line, and I think it's something we expected going into playoffs. And we kind of had a little bit of a meeting and just talked about playing hard, playing the right way, taking that next step, and bringing our game to a new level for the playoffs. So I'm excited to play with those two. I know they bring it every night, so it should be a fun series.
Another thing you and Bill do extremely well is penalty kill. How much do you hope you don't have to do that at all?
Yeah, discipline's going to be a big factor in this series. They had one of the top power plays in the league. Again, a lot of skill. They're a little bit unorthodox too, so they make plays that a lot of power plays don't. So, for us, when we do get that kill, we're going to have to block shots. We're going to have to get that puck out, and it's always a fun part of my game and fun part of Bill's game too. We always enjoy getting out there, but I think we limit their power play chances. It's going to help us.
When you talk about playing physical, I think a lot of people on the outside think this is going to be a knock 'em out, drag 'em out series. For you guys, it could be that way, but it's got to be smart, right?
Absolutely. I think there's a line you can cross, but that's one thing that helps our team win hockey games is us being physical, getting their faces and all that kind of stuff. But you got to worry about playing hockey too. They got a lot of skill, and if you just try to run them to the boards every time, they're going to make plays by you. So I think there's a time and a place, and there's going to be a lot of emotion in this series, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that.